What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is The Flash, Season 2, Episode 14, Escape from Earth-2. And yeah, I totally saw that ending coming. I mean, come on. The camera work, the fact that it was still like... The portal was still like fluctuating in the background, and Jay is just kind of standing there like, yeah, everything's fine. Except for this camera angle makes it look like something bad's about to happen. And the fact that I'm just standing here right in front of the portal as it's still not completely closed yet. But everything's fine. No, there's a hand through my chest. I mean, come on. It was a little too set up. I thought it would have been better if he throws it in and then turns, and as he's turning, hand through the chest, then he gets pulled in. But the way they set it up is like, it takes a good 10 seconds for the portal to close, and he's just standing like right in front of it the whole time. I'm like, okay, I know something bad's about to happen. Let's just get it over with, be done with it. But the rest of the episode, though, was really, really good. It was interesting to see a different version of Barry Allen. Instead of the confident guy that he is now that he's the Flash. The guy that is superhero. He's taken on a lot of people. He's much more confident now that he has these powers. The Barry Allen that doesn't have the powers, very just nervous, and I want to go for you, but not really. Like, you could just tell he doesn't really want to accompany them, but he's gonna do it for Iris. And how ironic was it that he gives himself a pep talk? I love that thought of he doesn't feel like he can do it, so his Earth-2 self is now giving him a pep talk, telling him that he can do it. It was just kind of funny. And ultimately he does. And overall, though, aside from those fun moments having the Earth-2 Barry, there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. A lot of mystery too. Who's the guy with the mask on that what's his face Zoom is keeping in his cell? Don't know who he is. He uses this code that Barry figures out what it is to say Jay, like Jay Garrick. Does this mean that's his name, and the Jay Garrick that we know is not actually Jay Garrick, and we have another case of face swap like with Eobard Thawne and Harrison Wells? Is it the same situation that Harrison Wells is in, where Zoom has kidnapped whoever, somebody really close to Jay, and is forcing Jay to pretend to help but not really? So we actually have two inside people. But if that's the case, then why does Zoom take him back over on the other side of the breach? Possibly to force them to open the breaches again, because he knows that Jay Garrick. This is all just kind of speculation of what I'm thinking. If Jay Garrick is somehow connected to Zoom and is working for him in the same way Harrison Wells was, because he kidnapped somebody that he loves, then this whole dragging him back across means that he knows that Jay Garrick has developed a relationship with Caitlin, and so she's going to do everything she can to get the breaches open again. So he's actually kidnapping his own inside man to force them to open the breaches. It's kind of a genius plan if that's what's going on. I don't know if that is or not. But I've always kind of, I don't know, Jay Garrick has not exactly been somebody that I've really trusted. He's kind of grown on me just a little bit. The reason why he doesn't want to take Velocity 6, Velocity 7, whatever it is explained finally. That was my one reason for not trusting him. It's why don't you want your powers back? So we finally get the reason why, but the fact that he hid it still makes me not really trust him. And now the fact that this guy taps Jay's name means that I don't trust him more. Now I feel like I trust him even less. However, one of the things that I thought they were going to do that they didn't, and it could be good or bad, I thought for sure that Jesse was going to die in this episode. I thought for sure that after Harrison Wells completely just went against Zoom, just completely foiled his plans, I thought for sure Zoom was just going to be like, yep, since you did this, say goodbye. But Killer Frost steps in last moment. But you could call it Deus Ex Machina, I guess, but it was kind of explained why. I think, like, apparently this whole thing of leading them to Zoom's base was part of the Zoom's plan. Like, he knew they were gonna. Either way, in the end, she finally decides, you know what, Cisco, you were right. He killed Ronnie. I can't deal with that, and so turns against Zoom. So I'm like, okay. So were you helping him or not? I'm not entirely sure. um, but it's a way to keep Jesse alive. I'm guessing Killer Frost is now gone as well. I doubt Zoom just left her alive after that. And even at the end, like I felt like what they were doing with Zoom. He comes in and has Harrison Wells by the collar. I'm thinking to myself, okay, so it's not going to go smoothly. They're going to have a reason to come back, or they're going to have a reason not to close the breaches. Kind of, the way they did it was so interesting because I kept predicting to myself, okay, so Jesse's gonna die. She doesn't die. Killer Frost saves her and possibly dies herself. I'm thinking, okay, so he has Harrison Wells. Most likely, he's going to take him away or something and flashes. I mean, he's going to have to jump to the other side of the breach before it closes or something like. But no, Harrison Wells has this thing. He stabs Zoom with it, and then Flash grabs him and takes him to the other side of the portal. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're going to close the breach and it's going to be done for now? And then they do, but then Jay Garrick gets taken. It's like, okay, it's messing with my expectations, and I like that. I like the fact that it's not straightforward, like, oh, he has Harrison Wells, it's over now. Like that's your reason for not closing the breach. No, he takes Harrison Wells, they try to close the breach, then Jay Garrick gets taken. It's like, oh, so the breach is closed, but they have a reason that they need to get back to Earth-2 now. Like, I don't know. It's set up very well. Also, another interesting thing, the Geomancer, I finally remembered his name this time, is attacking in Earth-1, and Jay Garrick gets his powers back, saves some people, but then the Geomancer shows up at S.T.A.R Labs, and Jay is nowhere to be found. Another reason that I don't trust him, because all I can think is, where were you? Like, how could you not be there? And I think the reasoning that he gave was that he slept through it because he was so tired after saving those people. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, he just seems kind of even more suspicious after that. But they end up, Caitlin has a moment where she stops the Geomancer and then they take him to Iron Heights, so now he's out of the picture. But, it's setting up for a lot, and I really don't know where it's going from here. Like, the fact that the breaches are closed, but Jay Garrick's now on the other side, and Caitlin's likely going to try to get him back because she loves him after. I don't even know. Like, if I had to pick one thing through this season that I have not liked, it would be Jay Garrick and Caitlin kind of forming a romance. Mainly because, one, they don't have a lot of chemistry, and two, it's kind of. I don't really know how to describe it, but my thought is she's doing this because she's heartbroken over Ronnie. Like, it doesn't feel like she actually has reasons to like him. It's just, Ronnie's dead, so I need to move on, so you're here, so why not? Like, the reasoning doesn't feel pure, it doesn't feel genuine. So it has been the weakest part of this season for me. But now it's there for a reason, because if she hadn't developed this, they would be like, you know what? Jay was a good man, but we can't risk opening the breach again just to help him. But now that Caitlin feels like she's in love with him, it's like, oh, well, Caitlin's gonna be the one that's like, we need to open the breach. He's my love. And then they're gonna be like, okay, Caitlin, we got you, and open up the breaches. So I understand the point of it now, I guess. Like, I was worried that this romance was just gonna go nowhere, but now it actually does kind of have a point, I guess. Still the weakest part of the season, but I get it now, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, overall good episode. I I hate the fact that the breaches are closed because I do want to find out more about Earth-2 and experience more of that because that was a lot of fun. Uh, but, overall good episode. Excited to see what's coming next. Don't know what's going to happen next, but that's part of the fun of this show. So let me know what you thought down in the comments below. As always, leave out the spoilers until I've caught up, and leave a like and subscribe for more Flash. I will see you at the next review. Peace out.